Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 524 based on novel. So let's start. Time is up. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with coldness. He had waited 3 years for this day. The 3-year period was over. It had also been a full 100 years since the Inner and Outer Realm War had begun. The 4 generals of the Inner Realm's ancient celestial realm wouldn't disappoint Wang Lin. The deal they had made with Wang Lin was about to begin. The stars were silent as the last breath passed. The divine senses surrounding Wang Lin didn't notice the upheaval the Inner and Outer Realms were going through. The first sign of this upheaval was in the brilliant void in the Inner Realm. In the vast brilliant void, there were bursts of colorful lights that lit up the star system. This caused the darkness of space to look like a blooming flower field. A thunderous rumble rang out among these beautiful lights. This muffled roar echoed across the star system. If this star system was a door, then this muffled roar came from behind the door. It was as if a giant was bombarding the door like crazy. The giant seemed to want to break open the door and walk out. As the thunderous rumbles echoed, the muffled roar also came from Summoned River. The muffled rumble was even heard and echoed in the cloud sea and all heaven. This violent sound appeared during the first breath and reached its peak in the 5th breath. It spread across every inch of the inner realm, to every planet, and into the ears of every living creature. At this instant, the countless living beings in inner realm, whether it was the cultivators, mortals, beast, or even vegetation, all trembled and entered a daze. There was an uninhabited savage planet that had no people but was filled with many fierce beasts. These beasts had lived here for generations. They hunted and killed in the rainforest here. However, when the thunderous rumble echoed, the planet became silent. All the beasts, whether it was the pouncing tiger or the giant python that had just caught a little beast, trembled. They were terrified as they looked up at the sky in a daze. The little beast that hadn't died forgot to struggle. It looked up and was stunned. Rumble, 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 rumble. The sound was heaven-shaking. During the 8th breath, it was almost crazy. It created countless ripples that echoed across the 4 star systems. At this moment, it seemed like countless creatures from the ancient celestial realm were roaring. Their roars was this rumble. On a planet in the Summoned River, inhabited by only a few dozen cultivators. They hadn't gone to the new celestial realm but were looking for mortals that could cultivate, searching for seeds for the future of the inner realm. At this moment, their faces were all pale and they coughed out blood. They looked at the sky in fear. They didn't know what had happened, but the roar in their ears had entered their minds and made them panic. Could it be that the outer realm is invading again? Everyone was shocked. They were about to fly out, but just as they flew into the sky, a thunderous rumble echoed and they were pressed against the ground by a pressure that descended from the sky. During the 11th breath, the rumble echoing across the 4 star systems created a pressure. This pressure came from the ancient celestial realm. This aura was ancient and shrouded the entire inner realm. It seemed to be telling the world they had returned. On a planet in all heaven, there was no longer any cultivators left, only mortals. At this moment, the cities that were supposed to be lively became deathly silent. The elderly man that was selling wine at the edge of the city and the dozen or so people drinking were all frightened when they saw the previously cloudless sky turn dark. A thunderous rumble echoed and all the mortals blacked out. The mortals that passed out couldn't see the change in the sky. The sky continued to darken until all light was gone and it turned to night. At this moment, it was the 16th breath since the rumble echoed. During these 16 breaths of time, the 4 star systems lost all light. All planets and continents were shrouded in darkness. During the 17th breath, a thunderous rumble that suppressed all the sound from the previous 16 breaths echoed in the brilliant void. This thunderous rumble sounded like a door breaking. Like the sky collapsing. As the rumble echoed, a crack appeared in the brilliant void, and it soon formed a giant rift. The moment the rift appeared, roars filled with excitement and madness appeared. The aura of the ancient celestial realm rushed out from this rift and swept across the brilliant void. At the same time, as the roar echoed, hideous gazes appeared inside the rift, and dried-up hands wanted to reach out. It was as if there was a group of people behind the rift that were about to go crazy and tear the star system open. At this moment, a similar rift appeared in the summoned river, All Heaven, and the Cloud Sea. The four rifts tore open the star system and released the aura of the ancient celestial realm. The ancient celestial realm was about to awaken. In the thunder celestial realm in All Heaven, old Ghost John suddenly stood up and his expression changed. He stepped forward, leaving the thunder celestial realm, and appeared in All Heaven. His eyes revealed a strange gaze as he looked at Rift that, and his eyes became cold. Ancient celestial realm. The rifts in the four-star system trembled and spread out like crazy. On the 19th breath, the entire inner realm seemed to be split. The four rifts spread until they met at the intersection of the four-star systems, which was directly above the new celestial realm. A thunderous rumble echoed when the four rifts overlapped, and a giant cross appeared in the sky. The aura of the ancient celestial realm leaked out and excited roars came from within. All the light in the inner realm collapsed. At this moment, the inner realm had no light. The endless light was all sucked away and was changed in a bizarre way. It all gathered outside the four rifts and gave off a dazzling glow. Thunderous rumbles echoed, causing the silver river around the new celestial realm to tremble. Even the new celestial realm buzzed. Many inner realm cultivators looked up at the sky. Qing Lin's face turned pale and he charged into the sky. This is the aura of the ancient celestial realm. The ancient celestial realm has returned. Master Hongshan, Master South Cloud, and Qing Shui, come with me to greet the ancient celestials. Qing Lin flew into the sky and 3 rays of light followed him. They were Master Hongshan, Master South Cloud, and Qing Shui. The 4 of them flew toward the sky. Below them were the inner realm cultivators and a giant statue standing on the highest peak. This statue had been moved here from planet Suzaku by someone during these past 3 days so that it could be worshipped by all future generations. When Qing Lin and company rushed out from the Silver River, they looked at the giant, cross-like rift. Even Qing Shui revealed a look of respect. There was no need to mention Qing Lin and others, they didn't dare to show any sign of disrespect. The ancient celestials were like gods to these old fellows. Only Sichu Nan stared at the sky among the cultivators below. In his mind, Wang Lin's words still echoed. He hadn't told anyone else about this. Looking at the rift, there was not the slightest bit of awe, only a complicated sense of confusion. The ancient celestial realm, it had been gone for a long time, and now it was descending upon the world once more. Shocking roars came out from the cross-shaped rift. In the end, the rift was completely ripped open and all the surrounding light gathered to form a block of light. In the blink of an eye, another block of light appeared. Soon, hundreds of blocks of light appeared. These blocks of light soon formed a giant staircase that floated there. After the stairs appeared, figures covered in golden light excitedly walked out. Soon, dozens of figures rushed out. Finally free. Now that our cultivation has recovered, our celestials have returned. Roars came from these dozens of golden figures. They each had the aura of a third-step cultivator. However, these auras were different from that of the cultivators of the cave world. However, it was very difficult to describe what the exact difference was. After these dozens of people, there were still more golden figures flying out. Looking from afar, this made for a shocking scene. Qing Lin and company were the closest. As the golden light filled the sky, they all had solemn expressions. Master Hongshan and Master South Cloud clasped their hands. However, compared to them, Qing Lin was the most excited. He stepped forward and clasped his hands at the golden figures. He spoke with respectful tone. The Lord of the Sealed Realm's disciple Qing Lin greets the ancient celestials. However, his existence and words didn't catch the attention of any of those ancient celestials. The celestials laughed wildly and directly flew past them. They shot toward the new celestial realm. This celestial hasn't devoured Joss flames in a long time. Although the Joss flames here aren't strong, they will satisfy me for now. Joss flames, this place has the aura of Joss flames. Ha ha, I didn't expect there to be Joss flame prepared for us when we awakened. Disciple of the Lord of the Sealed Realm, you're very good. These celestials rushed toward the new celestial realm. When Qing Lin and company saw this, their minds trembled. Qing Shui's eye glowed red and killing intent filled his body. His daughter was on the new celestial realm, and this new celestial realm had been built by them. This was their home. At this moment, someone had broken the door and was going to destroy his home. It didn't matter who that was, even if they were ancient celestials, he, Qing Shui, was still going to kill. Qing Shui charged forward. Master Hongshan and Master South Cloud were frozen for a moment before their expressions changed greatly. After hesitating for a moment, they clenched their teeth and rushed forward. Qing Lin was stunned, and his struggle was the most intense. However, he saw the dozens of celestial laughing wildly as they ripped open the Silver River. The gap revealed tens of thousands of inner realm cultivators who were filled with fear. Qing Lin let out a roar and stepped forward. Stop! Fellow ancient celestials, this is my inner realm's celestial realm. Qing Lin rushed forward as he roared, but before he could finish speaking, about 7 or 8 people turned around. Their eyes revealed domineering, golden light, and they waved their hands at the 4 of them. Thunderous rumbles echoed and a golden storm filled with the power of the celestial bloodline rushed at the 4 of them. As the storm rumbled, Qing Lin, Master Hongshan, and Master South Cloud trembled. What guts! You dare to stop us celestials from absorbing Joss flames, one of them sneered. His words contained endless arrogance and a sense of superiority. This golden storm contained the celestial bloodline and produced a suppression that was the natural enemy to people of the inner realm. This caused Qing Lin, Master Hongshan, and Master South Cloud to retreat in shock. However, this bloodline force had no effect on Qing Shui. It was as if he didn't notice it at all. He charged through the golden storm, toward the dozens of celestials, filled with shocking killing intent. However, he was still a bit slow. The dozen of celestials that had come out first had already arrived above the new celestial realm. They looked at the tens of thousands of cultivators looking at them in fear and laughed. A few people immediately released their bloodline suppression so that the cultivators below wouldn't dare to move. Then a few of them descended. One of them grabbed a female cultivator from the summoned river and was about to inhale. Once he inhaled, he would be able to turn this female cultivator into Joss flames and absorb them. However, just at this moment, an ancient celestial spread out his divine sense while laughing wildly. Just as his divine sense spread out, his laughter stopped and his eyes widened. An unimaginable amount of panic appeared on his face and he let out a scream. His scream was mournful. The moment he screamed, everyone else was startled. The celestial that had grabbed the female cultivator subconsciously loosened his grip on her and looked up at the person that had screamed. His statue. There is a statue of him there. The mournful scream echoed. The dozens of celestial that had arrived and the dozens that came after all froze for a moment. Their divine senses spread out, and after looking at the distant peak, they all gasped. The celestial that had grabbed the female cultivator loosened his grasp and his face turned pale. It's him. Why is his statue here? This sudden discovery caused fear to appear on the faces of dozens of celestials. They could not forget the power of that arrow in the ancient celestial realm 3 years ago. It wasn't until this moment that Sichu Nan awakened. He raised his head and raised his hand without hesitation and took out a jade. This jade was given to him by Wang Lin when they met on planet Suzaku, and Wang Lin told him about the ancient celestial realm. Wang Lin had told him that once the celestials appeared, if they tried to kill the cultivators, crush this jade. Sichu Nan took out the jade and crushed it. Once it was crushed, Wang Lin's aura erupted from this jade. Those dozens of celestials were very familiar with this aura. The moment this aura appeared, they suddenly looked up at the sky. The sky distorted and a white figure appeared. This figure was Wang Lin. That jade contained a sliver of his divine sense. Although it was only an illusion, his cold gaze spread out. Vermilion bird, black tortoise, azure dragon, white tiger, is this your so-called agreement? Wang Lin's eyes stared coldly at the dozens of celestials and then waved his sleeves. Get the hell out of here, he roared. With that roar, a shocking killing intent spread and triggered the memories of those dozens of Celestials. They let out screams and their faces turned pale while they quickly retreated. In the blink of an eye, they left the new Celestial realm. Outside the new Celestial realm, among the dozens of Celestials that had come out, there was an old man. He was the Azure Dragon. He had a gloomy expression as he stared at the people that had broken into the new Celestial realm. He let out a cold snort before taking a step forward and clasping his hands. This old man was not strict enough and came a step too late. I hope fellow cultivator will forgive us. This old man will give you an explanation. Fortunately, there were no casualties, so, fellow cultivator, please don't be angry. Our deal is still on. We from the ancient celestial realm won't kill a single inner realm cultivator. In the outer realm, Wang Lin opened his eyes and revealed a cold gaze. He had long expected this, which was why he had left the jade there. He saw those Celestials leave in defeat and was about to speak when he suddenly looked into the distance. There was no hesitation. Wang Lin stood up and charged off into the distance. The ancient celestial realm was the original one and was then split in half. Although it had been split between the inner and outer realms, they were still linked. Now that the inner realm's ancient celestial realm had opened, the outer realm's ancient celestial realm would open as well. Although there was a formation blocking the upheaval inside the inner realm, some of the third step cultivators in the outer realm still felt it. In particular, the Sovereign's eyes were flooded with disbelief when he suddenly understood what Wang Lin was going to do. Not good. He is going to use the power of the arrow to destroy the outer realm's ancient celestial realm. He is this crazy. He must have learned about everything, that this place is only a cave world. The Sovereign's expression changed and then he charged into the stars. At this moment, not only his, but the expressions of all the third step cultivators who were observing Wang Lin changed. They all understood what Wang Lin was going to do at the same time. Wang Lin moved at full speed. From his position, he only needed an instant to arrive anywhere in the ancient star system. He disappeared, and when he reappeared, he was in a star domain where there were large amounts of spatial rifts. This star domain right now had countless rifts, and thunderous rumbles came from within them. The moment Wang Lin arrived, the star domain seemed to collapse and a giant gap appeared. The aura of the ancient celestial realm came from within, and mad laughter followed. Golden figures walked out from the gap. These figures were also ancient celestials. They were all disciples of the Seven Tao sect, but they were no longer loyal to the seven-colored celestial sovereign but to the concubines. To be more precise, they were loyal to the Tao partner the seven-colored celestial sovereign had abandoned to save his own life. Without the order from the seven-colored celestial sovereign's Tao partner, they wouldn't be following the commands the seven concubines. It could be said that this was the root cause of the Great War in the cave. They were the final ace the celestial imperial concubines held. When everyone realized what Wang Lin was going to do, the seventh concubine's expression changed greatly and she rushed toward Wang Lin. Even the third concubine was shaken and quickly rushed over. Mad laughter echoed inside the gap as the golden figures flew out. However, everyone that came out immediately saw the white-haired cultivator in white that seemed to be waiting for them with his eyes closed. They didn't recognize Wang Lin. Although Wang Lin had a cultivation level, they didn't consider him a threat. They laughed wildly and excitement filled their eyes. We're finally able to come out. Since we are here, then the four generals must have come out as well. Kill them and obtain the Tao Tome and we can form a new Seven Tao sect. Not only must we kill them, but we must end all the lives in this cave world. Only then can we reopen this cave. The golden celestials flew out as they roared. One of the celestials revealed a cruel expression as he charged at Wang Lin. He was extremely fast, and when he got near Wang Lin, he raised his right hand with a grin. You and cultivator, you have bad luck by being at our door. This celestial will absorb you and turn you into Joss flames. Ordinary cultivator of the immortal astral continent, common disciple of the Seven Tao sect, you dare to call yourself a celestial. Wang Lin opened his eyes and golden light shined from them. This golden light was formed by condensing the power of the immortal celestial body blood drop. This light contained extremely pure celestial bloodline. When he saw the golden light in Wang Lin's eyes, the celestial that had charged forward stopped and his expression changed greatly. He subconsciously retreated in shock and a rumble echoed in his mind. "Who are you?" His answer didn't come in the form of words but Wang Lin's actions. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with a golden glow, and he raised his left hand. The Li Guangbo appeared with a rumble and he grabbed it. His right hand grabbed the bowstring and suddenly pulled back. With a buzz, the Li Guangbo reached full moon. The arrow that had terrified many people appeared on the bow, and the space around it twisted. After the arrow appeared, the world changed colors and trembled. The celestial recovered from his shock and looked at the bow. He felt like it was familiar. This bow is very familiar. This bow? Li Guangbo? The moment the celestial recognized this bow, his expression changed greatly. Fear and disbelief filled his eyes as he let out a scream in fear and retreated like crazy. He knew about this bow and about the power of an arrow from it. It was a powerful treasure that could even shake the hearts of the people from his home on the immortal astral continent. It had terrifying destructive capabilities. At this moment, he suddenly understood that this person had been sitting here precisely to wait for them to appear. This person had been waiting for the ancient celestial realm to open and use this bow to kill them. Who is he? The celestial retreated as if he was crazy. The only thought in his mind was escape, escape, escape. The huge change here caught the attention of all the other celestials. However, when they saw the bow in Wang Lin's hands, felt the trembling of the stars, and were shaken by the ripples from the bow, their expressions all changed. Li Guangbo? It's actually the Li Guangbo. Alarmed, the celestials that charged out retreated like crazy. They wanted to return to the ancient celestial realm. Encountering someone who had the Li Guangbo and could draw it as soon as they walked out was a nightmare. However, even though they moved fast, they weren't fast enough to escape from the Li Guangbo. The sovereign wasn't able to and they also weren't qualified. Wang Lin's right hand pulled the string even more as he let out a roar. At this moment, it was as if Wang Lin was about to break the bow. He stared at the terrifying and retreating celestials with monstrous killing intent in his eyes. The people he wanted to kill were these disciples of the Seven Tao sect. These arrogant Seven Tao sect disciples who saw the people of the cave world as ants. You are no different from the people of the Scattered Thunder clan. Wang Lin's right hand loosened and a buzz echoed across the entire star system. The bowstring suddenly retracted and sent a powerful force into the arrow. This howling sound was loud enough to shatter the heavens. The power of the Li Guangbo caused the heavens and earth to tremble. The world before the arrow collapsed and fragmented as the arrow shot forward. The celestial that was going to kill Wang Lin had nowhere to dodge. He screamed as his body collapsed as the arrow penetrated him. His origin soul was extinguished. He was not the first cultivator from the immortal astral continent that Wang Lin had killed, and he wouldn't be the last. As the arrow shot forward, it expanded until it was tens of thousands of feet long, and it was still expanding. The dozens of celestials that had come out were deathly pale. Compared to the speed of the arrow, they were like babies trying to run away. With a bang, the three celestials collapsed and then died with miserable screams. Thunderous rumbles continued to echo as three celestials' bodies trembled and collapsed. Just as their origin souls were about to escape, they disintegrated. They were destroyed by the cave world they felt contempt for. The arrow gave off a golden light. This golden light lit up the entire star system and continued to spread out. The rumbling sounds continued, and in the blink of an eye, another 8 celestials died. They were still feeling ecstasy while walking out of the ancient celestial realm, but now that ecstasy turned into the reason for their deaths. The arrow instantly killed all the celestials that had walked out, then it went inside. This caused a thunderous rumble to echo inside the gap and triggered a violent collapse. The impact of the collapse spread out in all directions as a shockwave. This shockwave was powerful enough to change the trajectory of cultivation planets but wasn't enough to move Wang Lin's ancient god body. Wang Lin's hair fluttered quickly, and the shockwaves caused his clothes to flap loudly. However, his eyes were firm, just like his body. He was going to kill, and this arrow wasn't going to kill enough. Wang Lin didn't know how many people were inside the ancient celestial realm or how many of them were powerful, but he understood that just a Li Guangbo might not be enough to destroy them all. However, he could destroy the opening to the ancient celestial realm so that they would never be able to come out again. After the first arrow was shot, the sovereign's body suddenly stopped millions of kilometers away. He stared ahead and his eyes were filled with joy. This is good for me too. I calculated that he only had the power for 2 shots. Now he has wasted one, and if he uses another, he will for sure die. Wang Lin, if you really fire the bow twice and I don't kill you today, I will no longer call myself sovereign. I'll take on your family name instead. The sovereign laughed as he rushed forward. Just as he took a few steps, he laughed like crazy again. He was releasing the resentment he had felt for the last 3 years. The second shot, he indeed released the second shot. Wang Lin, you are dead. I'll first seal the ancient star system so you can't leave, then I'll slowly kill you. Without hesitation, the sovereign waved his hand and his powerful cultivation spread out. This seal wouldn't prevent people from coming in, but it would prevent them from leaving. After doing all of this, the sovereign disappeared as he rushed forward. At the same time, the 7th concubine was deathly pale. She staggered back and her eyes were filled with monstrous resentment. As she stared straight ahead, it was as if she was going to break her teeth from clenching them so hard. Wang Lin, I'm going to kill you. Tao Master Miao Yin and Devil Master 9 Heaven were rushing through the star system. Their hatred for Wang Lin was no weaker than the sovereign and the 7th concubines. Although they were injured, that didn't still their killing intent. At this moment, they were rushing toward Wang Lin, who they had locked onto. With all these people wanting to kill you, I don't believe you can come out alive. Tao Master Miao Yin smiled. This old man is going to extract a sliver of your soul and use it to light the heaven lantern for 10,000 years. Only by listening to his suffering for 10,000 years can my hatred be extinguished. Hatred filled Devil Master 9 Heaven's eyes. Wang Lin indeed drew the bow a second time. This was the first time he had drawn it twice. This time, his forehead was covered in sweat. The drop of golden celestial blood between his eyebrows rapidly dimmed as he drew the bow completely open to a full moon. The arrow that was shot into the ancient celestial realm had reappeared on the bow. This arrow was stained with blood and gave off the strong, bloody smell. Before him, the hole to the ancient celestial realm has mostly collapsed after the first arrow. The ancient celestial realm that was revealed was also a mess. There were countless fragments floating inside the rift. That arrow just now had shocking power. At the moment the bow was drawn, 2 auras came from inside the rift. Both auras were as powerful as the sovereign's and quickly spread from the rift. Wang Lin's eyes revealed killing intent and he loosened his right hand. The bowstring buzzed and a second arrow shot out. The moment the second arrow shot out, the golden light in Wang Lin's eyes faded and the golden light in his left eye dissipated completely. As for his right eye, there was still some left, but that soon disappeared. It was unknown whether Wang Lin had hidden it or if it had also disappeared like his left eye. As the arrow got close to the ancient celestial realm, a powerful suction force came from the tip of the arrow. As it rushed into the ancient celestial realm, it pulled the gap. When the arrow completely entered, the gap to the ancient celestial realm collapsed. This collapse destroyed the gap, preventing the celestials of the outer realm's ancient celestial realm from coming out. This also destroyed the passage and blocked all chance of them coming out. Only the muffled rumbles continued to come from where the opening had collapsed. The 2 powerful auras were blocked and unable to come out anymore. The muffled rumbles seemed to become more and more distant. Wang Lin couldn't see the power of those 2 shots from the Li Guangbo, but for the people inside the ancient celestial realm, it was their nightmare. The outer realm's ancient celestial realm and the inner realm's ancient celestial realm were connected in a mysterious way. The 4 generals all had solemn expressions with a hint of terror as they looked at the churning sky before them. The sky was like a mirror, revealing a blurry yet shocking scene of what was happening inside the outer realm's ancient celestial realm. This child. It's best we don't mess with him. After a long time, The Azure Dragon General took a deep breath and dread filled his eyes. The Black Tortoise General silently pondered for a moment before he said, "He definitely doesn't only have 2 shots left. He is not a fool and his mind is as cunning as a devil's. How could he let others see his bottom line so easily? I guess he has at least 3 more shots." The 4 of them looked at each other and all nodded. After Wang Lin shot twice, a laugh echoed across the ancient star system. The sovereign appeared, filled with killing intent as he walked toward Wang Lin. This video will end here.